That's right, I still make videos. Today we're back at it with the AYANEO. Wait, I'm sorry. No. AYANEO has branched off and made a sub-brand, what they call a budget brand, and they're calling it the KONKR Pocket Fit. And they sent this one over for review here. Today's video is going to be a pretty brief, just unboxing. Stay tuned on our channel for a live stream and more content from the team very shortly here. But I really wanted to take a look. So they sent over the G3 Gen 3 Snapdragon version. There's also a Snapdragon 8 Elite, which you can take a look at in the Indiegogo page in our description. And their first Android handheld as KONKR. Is it going to be KONKR's Bad Handheld Day? Wait and find out. All right, let's dive in. Whoop. Since KONKR sent this over here, I've had some time to think. I pre-ordered one of these myself as well, the 8 Elite version, because, well, let's be honest, the 8 Elite is the latest, greatest. Also, like 0 millisecond decode time for streaming. I'm really into game streaming lately. It's been a lot of fun. Oh, right off the bat, premium feeling. I always wondered when they use this black plastic if you're going to get smudginess, fingerprints. It's interesting. So we have 2 additional buttons on the back, M1, M2, and it looks like you do get to dial in your resistance level on your L2 and R2. Nice. All right, let's pull this off. Very satisfying. So the one thing I like about the black unit here is that you have these nice kind of red buttons. I like that. A little bit of pop of color there. Now, as is tradition lately, we're seeing this all glass style front, so it's going to be very reflective, but AYANEO has been good about making this sort of anti-smudge coating, and it looks like that's carrying over here. We saw that in the Pocket Ace. Looking at one of my other favorite AYANEO devices, this is going to be the AYANEO Pocket Evo, and this is another one that is going to be a similar chipset. This is the G3 Gen 2, and this is one that has really stayed with me over time. I love it because it's OLED screen, and that's one difference here that I'm not super stoked on, is that they are giving us an LCD screen, but it is going to be at 144 Hertz. So man, you streamers out there, could be really nice. This comes in at the 12 gigabyte option here, and it's going to be a DDR5 RAM this time, which is super speedy, 256 gig of internal storage and 1080p for the screen. Nice big area for the air intake and exhaust up the top. And you have the little KONKR branding there. KONKR. Little bitty joysticks like we've seen on their other handhelds, like the AYANEO Pocket Micro. This is the classic. But we have the same joystick style there and on the Pocket Ace and Pocket S2 and S2 Pro. What's good about that is that we can pop these right off. Look at that. And swap out with a third-party analog stick. For instance, these low-profile sticks from Hypesticks, available on Etsy. Love these things. I'm assuming this has some RGB lighting. Those are going to light up real nice. It's a very reflective glass front. Up top, we have a volume up and down, as well as what looks like the on-off button and the fingerprint reader. And there it goes, turns on. D-pad feels just like the Pocket Evo and some of their other recent D-pads. Mushy rubber membrane, but good pivot on that. And the play and travel on the face buttons feels just about right. It doesn't fully bottom out, which I appreciate. Very easy to press, but we do have RGB lighting on the sticks, which is great to see. So we have Hall sticks on here as well as Hall triggers. Now the shoulder buttons are a little bit clicky right off the bat, so I'm going to adjust this, and now we have full depression right there, which is great. But this is really nice to see, to have that. It feels good on the L2 and R2 there, but I would like to see a little bit of grit, just a little bit to catch there. I appreciate how quiet these buttons are, so we're going to do some ASMR button tests in just one moment. Okay, and up top here we have LC and RC, and that's going to be left command, right command, so some extra buttons never hurt anybody. And along the bottom here we have microSD card right there, 3.5 headphone out, which I love to see if you are into jamming, listening to game soundtracks using your headphones, and USB-C on the bottom right there. On the side, nothing. On the other side, nothing. Okay, On the right hand side here, we have a little K for KONKR button. I'm guessing that's going to bring up some of those overlay options, as well as your 3-button Android button right there, home button, start select, all that good stuff. And I like the ergo of this. Yeah, it's very lightweight too. We'll take a look at that. But first, what else is in the box? I'm guessing we have a handy dandy, yes, USB-C cable. That was worth the wait. They always do well with their packaging over there at AYANEO or KONKR, whatever they're called right now, but we don't keep packaging around here. We don't need it. So these back buttons, it's kind of a little bit of an odd feeling pushing on them. Like they're a little crunchy feeling. It's hard to describe. Don't feel as good as the other buttons. But overall, it's just all very quiet, and I appreciate how quiet this is. Really like that. All right, go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and turn this bad boy on. Let's see what we got. And while that is loading up, let's take a look and go to Spec Town. You wanted it? Here it is. Compare that with the Snapdragon 8 Elite model here. The only differences I'm really seeing here, the 8 Elite versus the G3 Gen 3, is the 8 Elite is going to be giving you Android 16, as well as, of course, the 8 Elite chipset, which is going to be more performant and eventually, some might say, better driver support. But right now, it's very contentious. So you can do your fingerprint reader in there. You know, for an LCD screen, that does look very nice though. So you have all your standard options here in Android. You have Play Store access, you're gonna have iSpace access, and if you push the KONKR button, you're gonna get the usual AYANEO sidebar there where you can change the fan, and I can already hear the fan coming on. All right, let's take a look and make sure these buttons are above board, right? Look at those dead zones. Uh-oh, what's happening over here? Oh, I've never seen that before. Go did the joystick calibration in iSpace, and we have access, the good access, not the evil access. Both joysticks. Woof. It feels lightweight, so we're gonna do a weight test real quick. 385 grams on the KONKR, compared to maybe, I don't know, a Switch Lite, 266. The AYANEO Odin 2 coming in at 423 grams. The hefty, chunky Pocket Evo at 484. Anbernix G557 comes in at 345. And the Retroid Pocket 5, the Snapdragon 865 inside of it, 271 grams. You could also compare it, I suppose, to the AYANEO Odin. And there's a portal. So yeah, this is nice and lightweight as it sits kind of in the middle of those various devices there. Just very ergonomic, like the feeling there. Feels good in the hands. The closest feeling of ergo is probably going to be the RG557. Definitely wins all day long when we're talking about just ergonomics. I kind of want to pick up the one with the yellow on the bottom though. Here's just for an example. Here's the RGB 10 Max 3 Powkitty. I think the yellow is pretty similar to that. It's going to look like that, kind of a yellow trim around. Oh, they have that fun microSD that I love. Look at that. Pop it up. How it's on this little rotation system. Perfect. Love that. So just stumbling through more things here. There's a little bit of screen flex we're looking at here. And this is, just to remind you all, this is a pre-production unit, so keep that in mind. And also, the touchscreen's moving the text up and down, but it's just a slight amount there. Okay, all right, now we're in some Silksong action here. Okay, so this button up here is not start and select. This changes the performance profile. So now we get the loud fans. So here's a listen to that. Volume down. There's the max fan profile. And the fan's very quiet on the other settings, luckily. I love that. You can just push this quick button and then you're swapping between modes. Leave it in balance there. So where is start and select? So I guess they say start and select is here then. Yeah, this is start and select. Wow, look at the colors. Look, okay, everybody, look at the colors on this screen. Ooh, that looks good. So we are running Silksong here through GameHub, which is basically a front end for Winlator and a Windows emulator, and this is running at a clean 60. Let's listen to these speakers. And really, beyond playing some Android games, maybe some Warzone, other games that might make use of a 144 hertz panel, I really think streaming will be fun to play around with on here. All right, let's wrap up. Well, what do you all think of the KONKR Pocket Fit? This Android handheld from AYANEO's new budget line is pretty nice so far. We're going to have to take another look, get involved in a live stream, and really dive deep into see what all we can get done here. But the G3 Gen 3 chip is no slouch. Win later is no issue. We're going to play some more games. I want to take a look at streaming. I want to take a look at high-end emulation and all the various things we can do, including Android gaming, so stay tuned on the channel as we look at that in our fun device live streams. But coming in at $300 USD, yeah, this is about right. I do wish there was an OLED screen because you can get OLED for around this price point through AYN, and even less if you go with a Retroid, a little bit less power there, of course. But we would like to have seen OLED in here, maybe on the next one. But very comfortable, very pocketable. But let me know, is this one that you're interested in? It is available down below if you want to learn more at their Indiegogo. And this comes in a range of SKUs from as low as $240 up to $545, $550 for their top end, 8 Elite, all spec'd out, 1 terabyte, 16 gigs, the whole 9 yards. But at the end of the day, you're still going to be getting a LCD screen. So if you like LCD screens, in fact, text is easier to read on an LCD screen, then great. That's great. If you want to hold out, though, for an OLED goodness, look at the AYANEO range of devices. They have, for instance, that dual screen, the Pocket DS, which has that top OLED, which is nice to see. There's also other alternatives that aren't AYANEO for similar-ish performance. Their last gen, which does have an OLED. I love this thing, a little bit bigger device here. Of course, the Pocket Evo. Always love my AYN Odin 2 portal. Even Anbernic in their higher end RG557 with its Dimensity 8300 chipset. But this one so far is very impressive, so I can't wait to take another look. But that's going to do it for us here today, everybody. Let me know. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share to stay in the know for all of your favorite retro handhelds. And a special thanks once again to our channel members, our patrons, and our subs who make everything here possible for us. Perks with RH start for as little as $3 per month. Join us in our Discord to chat and play games. And join us on the upcoming KONKR Pocket Fit live stream where we dive into testing more, spec town, what does this do, what does it offer, and when I get my retail unit in, I can't wait to try out the 8 Elite and see just how good that is. And until the next time, this has been Stubbs saying, take care of those handhelds, everybody, and each other.